Right, so I'm going to be talking about agent observability. My name is Muhammad Ali. I am a solutions architect at ClickHouse. I help Langfuse users and customers build and ship AI agents with confidence using Langfuse, which is an LLM observability and evals platform. So first thing first, right? Why do you need an LLM observability and evals platform when we do have this application observability tools out there? Well, because AI agents can be confident and can be wrong at the same time. Like the way you see the agent here, which happens to tell user that they can have a refund, whereas the policy says otherwise. Now, if you look at this from the lens of traditional application observability, the response code is 200, latencies are looking good, everything is green, but your application has failed in producing the correct output. So how do you basically solve this problem? Well, the first thing is there are two parts to this puzzle. First is the understanding of how your agents work with the tool that is purpose-built to surface all of that, what happens in the back end of the agent. You know, what steps it's taking to get to that wrong answer, what tools it's calling, what type of data it has retrieved, and whether the prompts are written are being honored. So here you can, an agent can fail in various different ways. Here it was stale data retrieval. It could be that your harness that you put together for your agent has not put together the context in a way that agent could actually read the data. Or it could be that your agent is just not honoring the prompt and looking at the data that you provided in the prompt, and it's confidently agreeing to the users what looks like a plausible answer but an incorrect one. So first of all, you need to understand your agents better with the purpose-built UI. Just by looking at the input-output in your application observability might not get you far. Now, second part of the equation has to do with the engineering process. What do I mean? Well, in traditional software engineering, we are quite sure about the specs of our application. We have a good handle on the input domain of our application, and because of that, we can write good test harness that can cover pretty much all the scenarios. And when we ship these applications, we're very confident that it's going to fail. And most importantly, you know the metrics to measure that you can send to as part of your page when things go wrong to your developers, and then they can do the root cause analysis. When you're working with the agents, one thing you're sure of is you're not sure of the ways in which your agent can fail. So what do? Well, not ship it, or have a mechanism in place which allows you to push these agents into production and gather that real user data that tells you ways in which your agent can fail, and feed that back into your development process so you can quickly iterate and refine your agents and improve the quality. And that's exactly what Langfuse is built for. So Langfuse is a tool that is optimized to first understand your agent, find those interesting traces or scenarios or failure modes, and feed that data back into your development process in the form of what we call data sets. So this is where the right side of this slide comes in, where you have data sets and experiments. Data set is set of items. Think of it as like input cases. So these are like input and expected output cases. And experiments is like a test harness. So it takes all of the items in the data sets, run it through your experiment, and you score each of these input against your set of evals, which is where the scoring would come. The evals can be run using an LLM, so another LLM judging the output of your agent, or it could be code evals, where you can assess things are more deterministic, like an agent is supposed to output something in a JSON format, and you want to check the schemas of that. So these are evals. You run these experiments offline, and you get the scores. And across multiple experiments, you see if the agent is improving or regressing. So the idea is you identify the failure modes from the traces, you set up evals online that will tell you your agent's working as expected, or there are cases where it's failing or where the user feedback is negative. And you take that data back into your data sets and you improve the coverage over a period of time. And of course, when you're doing that, you would need some sort of Git repository of your prompt, so you don't want to hard code your prompt into your agents. So that is what also available in Langfuse. Now, when you're building these agents, you could be building, or your teams could be building across different frameworks. Today, your developers may be using LangGraph. Tomorrow, they might come and say, I'm going to be building in Crew AI. So there are different agent framework out there that your developers can use. So you need a tool that is framework agnostic, so it works across all the agentic framework. The second bit you want is runtime agnostic. Today, you may be building on AWS Agent Core runtime. Tomorrow, some developers would come and ask for ADK. So you need a tool that is agnostic of the runtime. Langfuse is open source, and it also is compatible with open standard. Open telemetry, as we have been talking about today, is an open standard for instrumenting your application. So your application is kind of decoupled from your backend observability. Langfuse works with that, so no matter which runtime you work with, if it supports open telemetry, Langfuse works with that. Now, you also want these tools. One of the big areas in your AI usage is your coding assistants. So you would want your coding assistant logs to be captured in Langfuse as well. I do that too, so I can perform analysis on my own ways of working in Claude. And then there are gateways like Light LLM or OpenRouter. You want connection to these tools and proxies as well. So all of that data goes into Langfuse so you can understand your agents better. On the other side, you want your tool to be able to give you access to all of that telemetry that you've collected, access to all of that data. So Langfuse has export to S3 options, so you can take all of that data out into S3 or blob storage. You have full API access. And an important part in developing agents is you often see the AI engineers use agentic coding assistants or agents themselves to improve the other agents. So for that, you need MCP, so that agents can actually pull the data out from Langfuse by themselves. Number two, you may need CLI, so agents can run those experiments autonomously, change the prompt automatically, and see if it improves your metrics. So all of that is possible with those MCP and CLI, right? But what better way to show you that than showing you a demo? So it is going to be fast, so I'm going to roll up my sleeves and start talking over it. Let me just press. Right. So our docs have this example project where you can ask any question about Langfuse and it answers you that. It goes through the tool chain and it shows you what is the answer of your question. If you like the question, all good. If you don't like the question, you provide us the feedback on that. And that is a first-class citizen in Langfuse. We capture that and attach to the trace so you can search the data later. You can log in with SSO. Here, we're logging with ClickHouse. Now, this looks like a traditional application observability, but that's just about it. As you click in any of these traces, which are agent calls, you can see the whole details about the agent. Now, metrics, which are very important when you work with AI. So what is the input token count? What does it actually cost to run this agent? That's all there. On the left side, you have a tree that tells you exactly how the agent went through, what tool it called, and then you have a graph view of that so you can understand the flow better. Now, what you see on there is the annotation or the user feedback or scores attached to the traces, so you can say whether your agent response was relevant or not. This can be done by LLM as a judge, or you can have your user, SME, come look at these traces and attach annotation so you can search them later, or your developers can come back and search them later. If your model changes, you have Playground there, so you can compare a prompt response across multiple models or side by side. Now, one of the cool thing about, or the powerful thing about Langfuse, it's search capability. So here we are trying to find where user has provided us the negative feedback. And this way you can do your error analysis and see what went wrong in that particular call. Now, this is user-provided feedback. You can also have LLM as a judge. So here we have configured a bunch of LLM that look at those traces and attach additional scores that we saw earlier in that. Now, how do we take all of that data and feed that back into the data sets? So we do offer a data sets capability, which is, as you see, there's an input and expected output, and that are run through these experiments. And these experiments are this experiment is what you want to capture and trace across your multiple runs. So you can run your first one and becomes your baseline, and then you want to improve this. And as you add more capabilities in your agent, you want these graphs to look either stable or go up, not regress. So as you add more capability, you want to have regression control. You can self-manage Langfuse. It's open source. And we have a Terraform and Helm charts available. You can see it runs on ClickHouse. It can run on ClickHouse Cloud as well. And with the last bit in here is that MCP tool that I was talking about. Here, we're asking our agent to look at our agent traces in Langfuse and help us improve our prompt. And this is what it suggests. So technically, you can have self-improving agents as well, or a graph-based model where one agent improves the other agent. All right, so that's the demo. How do we get here? So Langfuse itself was created out of a need. So these three founders of Langfuse, Max, Clemens, and Mark, were building some agentic experience back at the time when ChatGPT wasn't released. So they were looking for a tool that they can actually use to understand their AI usage better, and none existed at that time. So they created this thing, and little did they know, this became their sort of day job for the rest of the many years to come. And they launched it on Hacker News. A lot of users, because it was open source from the day one, a lot of users adopted it, and then they asked for feature. And then in V2 in Jan 2024, people asked to make that feedback loop, or the whole loop, closed loop feedback as a feature in the tool. As they progressed, originally the design was built on top of Postgres. Like many other customers that come to ClickHouse, where their original design was built on Postgres and it doesn't scale. Very similar happens to Langfuse. They couldn't scale their workloads beyond a certain point with Postgres, so they had to re-architect using ClickHouse. And 13 months or 11 or 13 months down from there, they realized that they can join hands with ClickHouse, because ClickHouse was the database which is optimized for their workload, and then they have this database that they can optimize further for their workload, and a workload that is optimized for ClickHouse. So Langfuse workload itself, shape of it is very ClickHouse friendly. It is billions of rows as they operate in thousands of customers. It is high cardinality. It requires you to see the data in real time as your agents are operating with your business. And of course, when you're using those MCP tools to improve your agents, they're going to make a lot of queries. So they needed a solution that could actually scale. So that's that. Langfuse is by far the most popular open source project in this category. It is open source. As I said, it works with OpenTelemetry. And for the enterprises that are using Langfuse, we do offer commercial features in there, that has to do with role-based access control and other security controls and APIs that are not available in the open source. Again, it sits on top of ClickHouse, which makes it fast and cost-effective. It scales to the global scale. And again, the enterprises who are deploying Langfuse, and a lot of them are working with the agents that handle the sensitive data. So they want to be able to own this data themselves, so they are able to deploy Langfuse with ClickHouse, bring your own cloud model, or ClickHouse cloud model, which is their own tenancy where they can store all of that data. So now I'm not going to bore you further. We have an exciting use case that Canva team built. So I'm going to invite Canva team over, who are going to talk to us about agentic support experience that they built on top of Langfuse. Thank you.